gave everything he had. He played every down like it was his last down. He would run the ball, and he wasn't a big guy, and he would run the ball right up into a 250, 280-pound lineman, and he wouldn't think twice about it, and he did that week in and week out.
In addition to his Rookie of the Year award, Joe Delaney rushed for over 1,100 yards and earned a Pro Bowl berth in his very first season. But what meant more to Joe Delaney, more than the accolades and the money that came with it, were his ties to the people of his hometown of Houghton, Louisiana. Houghton is a small, quiet community stuck in the rural backwoods of northwest Louisiana. It was here where Joe Delaney was raised. It was where he married Carolyn, his childhood sweetheart. It was where his 3 daughters were born.
He was really a homebody, and he never forgot Houghton. Every minute he had a chance, he'd come back to Houghton.
In the off-season, the Kansas City Chief running back liked nothing better than a cruise around the southwest corner of town where the Delaney clan was particularly strong.
He would often get a carload of kids in the neighborhood, and he would take them, like they would have softball games in the summertime at the school or at different schools in ball field, and he would take them to the games and things and bring them back home, and they all get together and, go to the store and get chips and pops and things, and he'll bring them over to the house, and they'd get out there and he'd play music for them or play his guitar, and they just would have a good time.
Kids were important to Joe Delaney, and it was his hope that his fame and status could provide them with much more than just potato chips and soda.
He said that one day when he retired or wouldn't be able to play football no more, he would like to come back to Houghton and build a big recreation center with pools and things for the kids that in his neighborhood, so they could get a chance to do the things that he couldn't do when he was growing up in his neighborhood.
Joe Delaney never got that chance. On June 29, 1983, Delaney was playing softball with friends at this public park in Monroe, Louisiana, when he heard the anguished cries of 3 young boys who had waded into a shallow but muddy nearby pond. Although he could not swim, Joe Delaney reacted in a fashion consistent with his nature.
There's a deep section there that they didn't know about, and it was about 6 foot deep, and the 3 of them went under at this time. And 2 of them didn't come up, but the 3rd one did come up. He ran to the bank and yelled for help. As he yelled for help, there was a large crowd of people in the park that day, and Joe Delaney was one of them. And as he heard the young child yell for help, well, he came running, and when he found out there were 2 boys who had just gone under the water here, well, he jumped in the water in an attempt to save them, and he didn't come up either.
Although it was a real shock when I found out exactly how it happened, it wasn't surprising. I mean, he really, really cared about people. He was a team player. He cared about his teammates, and I could just see him. Those children were in need, and he went to help them.
Maybe it's easier to accept it because of the way he died, but it's just too soon. Just too soon. The good, what's the song? Only the good die young. Well, thankfully that's not true across the board, but that was a good man who died way, way before he should have been, because he had a lot left in him as a player, and certainly a lot more as a person.
They held Joe Delaney's funeral in the Houghton High School gym. It was the only place in town big enough to hold an overflowing crowd of loved ones and friends. That included, among others, then Kansas City Chiefs head coach John Mackovic.
Joe was a living hero, and I think you who are here today have known that for many, many years. Joe now is still a hero and always will be. We will miss Joe Delaney. We will never forget him.
The thing about Joe, man, he just, he He didn't try to be anything more than what he was. You know, he was himself. He was a football player. He was good people, man. You know, I think a lot of people appreciate him because of that.
I feel that he's still a part of me, and he's still here for me every day, you know, with the kids and things. I don't have any problem out of them or anything, you know, and it's just, I feel like he's just still here, a part of us.
By strict definition, a hero is a person of great strength, nobility, and courage. Such a person was Joe Delaney.